what's going on? Leginuity here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds, and right now we are doing our daily gaming XP grind, episode 16. So let's fill you guys in on what we've been up to. So, a couple things. Let's go ahead and get to our XP update right out the gate. So we're at 252,000 attack XP, 747,000 woodcutting XP, 1,187,000 construction XP, rune crafting sitting at 344,000 XP. We did level up magic just recently. Now it's at 15,761 XP. Mining 3,973,000 XP. Artisan 2,849,000 XP, and cooking is almost at 110,000 XP. So you can see we've actually been working on quite a bit. So we are going to bring you guys with us to get our 4 million mining XP milestone. So we are going to want to pop a anti-poison potion, as you will need one for this area. So we're quite excited about this, as this has been a journey that has been it's been a long journey, right? We've been putting a lot of work into it, and it's one of the skills that we sort of started working on initially right off the bat. But obviously, nerfs came to cooking, and nerfs came to woodcutting, so I really thought one was going to come to mining. But the only difference with mining is there are not an unlimited supply, right? So it's you definitely have to run around and get ore. So I guess I really didn't think about that when questioning whether or not they were going to nerf it. That's the difference. There's a large respawn time on ore, and when it comes to trees, they're literally around every corner, multiple, right? And then as far as the water nerf, I don't think that they really touched cooking in any other way. I'm not quite entirely sure. But if you really think about it, that just makes sense. Ore takes time to respawn, and there's only so much. But when it comes to woodcutting, there's just a ridiculous amount of wood, so that makes sense that they wanted to nerf it, as people were getting extremely ridiculous amounts of XP. And as far as the dirty water, turning that into clean water, that was a bit absurd. I'm not going to lie. I mean, so people were just getting ridiculous XP so quickly, so they didn't want that to sort of happen, which makes sense. But now I'm not going to lie, cooking is pretty horrible to level, as obviously if you don't have enough food to cook, you're going to have to do dirty water, right? I guess, unless you want to go kill a ridiculous amount of animals, or you could collect mushrooms and sort of potatoes and make different stews and things like that. Or you could run around and collect berries or dwell berries. That gives cooking XP as well, but that's incredibly slow. So we're kind of limited right now on options as what you can do to get cooking XP. But overall, for the most part, I think that it's going to be tough to level up cooking. Rune crafting takes time, but there are rune essence nodes everywhere. So that's also going to be a little bit of a hurdle for us, as we're going to have to really heavily focus on leveling up rune crafting when it comes time for that. Because I don't know if you guys saw my last video, but we do have milestones, different things we want to sort of focus on, and then we're setting ourselves a certain amount of XP. I think 4 million in mining is pretty realistic, because we're already so high in XP. But I think it's important to remember that what is going to be level 99, it's really hard to say. I know I've said this before in our episodes, but they said 12 million XP is not going to be 99. And I'm pretty sure the way that it was worded was to say that it's actually going to be less. So we're 14,000 XP away right now from 4 million. But ultimately, so it's going to be less than 12 million, because it is a survival game. So I really doubt that they're going to make you go get some insanely ridiculous amount of XP, when in reality, I'm playing the game differently than other people probably would. But I think it's giving me a lot more enjoyment, and I'm sort of able to play the game longer, because I'm playing it as if it was the older RuneScape. But I'm actually very happy and with the content and everything else to bring into the game. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad thing the way that I'm sort of going about it. I'm really enjoying myself, and it's kind of cool to have goals. I used to have goals in RuneScape 3. I started playing, I guess, RuneScape when it first came out, so I guess that would be considered old school RuneScape when it was legitimately old school, because it was the only version there was. So I don't know. I wonder the things that they can do with this game. I mean, can they bring a wild? Will you sort of lose your gear if you die? And I think that really only works once we start to be able to make like a runite armor and things like that. Because I really don't think there's going to be rich runite ore nodes. I think it's going to be you get there and there's potentially 2 runite ore on that node. I don't think they're going to give us access to large amounts of runite ore the way they are doing with these other things. I think it's going to have to be like it's a way to keep people playing the game as well. It's like if you rent this really cool armor, you may even have to fight dragons to get in there. So they're not just going to have it openly available like they've done with a lot of these other things, but these are very basic armors. So that would sort of make sense in the way that that's okay to let them have that. It's really not that big of a deal. So I think that's hopefully where they're going with it because I feel like that would just sort of make sense. So I really hope that they take that direction in it and not just give everybody the ability to just sort of go get it. I mean, obviously, I want it to be a little bit of a challenge because I feel like a lot of the other things have not necessarily been the greatest challenge, but I'm very certain that they're going to sort of make all these new dragons and stuff actually be quite difficult. So, Velgar itself, I mean, I know some people say it's not that hard when you're using melee. However, I didn't use a dragon anti-fire, an anti-dragon fire shield, and when I actually did it, we got to put an anti-poison potion. So, when I actually did do it, I 4,000, 3,500 or whatever. Okay, so essentially, I did it with range. I did it with magic, I believe it was. So a ranged attack style, but ultimately it was still a little bit difficult. I mean, you really got to pay attention to the mechanics. So I'm sure they're going to be working incredibly hard to give us an experience that's challenging yet rewarding. But I'm sort of just to hop back onto the discussion of Runite Ore and how that might look. I really think that they're going to make it challenging to get. We're already in here, so let's go ahead and go up here and see what we can do. I know I've talked a bit about it a little bit as well, and they really don't discuss new trees coming to the game, which obviously they're going to be bringing new trees to the game. It just makes sense. But I was actually talking to another player, and he had said that it looks like there might already be potentially willow trees and magic trees in the game. We just don't have access to them. Interesting. It's been so long since I've got a tome of attack. Let's see what it gives us. 100 XP. Well, I really that's crazy. That's like nothing. But anyways, let's go ahead and go. And obviously that's going to slow us down now quite a bit. So it looks like we're gonna have to leave here, and we're not gonna be able to get it out here. But that's okay. I think we can go do something quite silly, like potentially just mine some copper ore to get that final bit of XP. So we're going to go do that right now. We're actually closing in on our other agenda, which was 3 million artisan XP. But I think that might turn into a 4 million goal as well. The only reason I say that is because I feel like it would just be too easy, honestly, to... we're already almost at the 3 mil mark, and we're going to be doing different things in the game, which is going to put us over. So I think it just sort of makes sense to make that objective a little bit more. So let's take a look. We need 2,000 XP. I don't think this is going to quite do it. And let's see, I didn't bring my mining potions with us. So let's see, that was 1,100. This should do it, hopefully. There's a Roman Colosseum in the distance. Unfortunately, now we're stuck with lag. But since we destroyed Zazima's 99-cent store, the lag shouldn't be as bad. We've actually been destroying a lot of structures all around the game that we've built. We got rid of our swamp base, as that actually gave us quite a bit of wood. So this episode is probably going to be in the 15 to 20 minute range. If you're even this far in, if you maybe left, that's fine. We appreciate our viewers watching everything. And honestly, I love to make content, but at the same time, I obviously like to have you guys engage and enjoy in it. So we are going to go over here and grab this ore really quick. Let's see how far away we are. We're literally 200 XP away. This is quite ridiculous. So I think what we're going to do is just go. It's really dark here. I don't really want to get it here. So I suppose we'll go on this corner right here. I thought there was ore on this one. It's this one here. Okay, so we're going to finish up here. So basically, once we load in, because we've got quite a bit of stuff down there, we are going to get our milestone of 4 million. Gosh, I can't even talk. 4 million mining XP. So once we load, I actually switched my gear. I have the leggings of lightness, but I'm wearing the paladin armor as it seems to give a lot more resistance to attacks. And once I get this, I mean, we're pretty much not going to focus on mining, essentially, unless we're getting clay ore, which I really don't see the need if we're going to be stopping our progression in artisan at 3 million, even at 4 million. I feel like there's a lot of other things we can be focusing on. So I'm happy to say that at 4 million mining XP, I feel pretty comfortable with that amount of XP. But obviously that gives us time to focus on other skills and sort of just keep progressing. So this load-in is taking a ridiculous amount of time. I think it's because I'm not just on the temple side, I'm on the amusement park side. And so you've got the Warhammer Castle over there, and so... But anyways, here we go. Milestone time. There we go. So now we have 4 million and 2,343 XP. So that's ridiculous. And we're quite happy about it. So we're going to go back to our main base. And we really didn't have time to do a lot of other stuff. But as I said, I wanted to kind of make these videos shorter. But I think it was sort of short and sweet. We achieved 4 million mining XP. We sort of went over what we've been doing. Our magic is actually about to level up. But that's going to be quite a bit of killing because obviously you don't get a ridiculous amount of XP. We're starting to sort of get lazy again with our base. But we're trying to keep that in a minimal area just here at the front. And then that way we can sort of work on it when we need to. I don't really think there's a lot going on out here. We could take you out here really quick and show you guys our mannequins as we have been working on those as well. Our biggest problem right now is swamp tar because we're trying to make more bronze. And unfortunately, it's a little difficult because swamp tar sort of seems to be a little bit difficult to get. It's just time consuming. And then, so we've been working on our paladins and these guys we haven't really been putting a lot of time into. And then we haven't decided what we want to put here as materials are definitely a thing. But we are going to be working on construction in the next episode most likely and filling up this entire platform as now we have enough ash planks to do so. We aren't really necessarily concerned in picking flax anymore as I think we have enough to sort of do what we need to do and we're not going to be really making gear that's sort of based around that. But I think that's pretty much going to cover this episode, everybody. So I really appreciate you tuning into episode 16 of our daily gaming XP grind. And until next time, Legion Luta out.